Hey, what is going on, guys? So today I want to share with you once again another completed build. This is of course the SD Cross Silhouette Nightingale kit and another 120 scale resin pilot figure there to go along with it, and just kind of customized base there. Basically it's just like a black picture frame turned upside down and then made a kind of custom like inlay for that, so it's got that sort of hanger look to it. But yeah, anyway, the kit has been done for a while, like a couple months, and then the figure was done a little bit later, and then I just kind of been waiting to finally get around to finishing the base. I finally did, and here we are. So unfortunately, just due to the weight of this, you're gonna notice that the model is gonna be doing a little bit of jiggling as it's moving around here, but just wanted to talk a little bit about this. There's not really a whole lot to say, didn't really do a whole lot of modification or anything. Just painted it up in this color. As you guys saw with the work in progress video I did for this was a ways back, but did do work in progress for this, and it's just like a mix of a couple different colors to get that nice kind of purpley blue color. And yeah, the pilot figure as well is just all hand painted. The skin tone once again was airbrushed, and then everything else was just hand painted on there. I did do a little bit of custom modification to the figure. Basically like the whole body, head, and legs was all one piece, and then the arms on the back side of the body, that was a second piece. So the way that the pigtails on the side of the head were, they're like molded down and then like onto her shoulders, and it just looked really weird and kind of unnatural. So I just kind of cut those a little bit, sort of trimmed around there, sort of reshaped the ends of the hair so it was a little bit shorter, and it just looks a little bit better this way. But it's a pretty cool pilot figure, though pretty unique, and does sort of have the Cyber Newtype look to it, like it sort of goes with something like this, some version of the Nightingale. And yeah, the other thing about the Nightingale is that I used those mix of pink and white details for like the big markings, and then all the little markings are in pink, so you can see them all. They're there, but they're subtle. They don't like pop out. The white markings pop out really nicely, the big Xeon logos and the white stripes on there. Those white striping decals are actually leftover decals from the Dragon ma.k Strike Noir kit, which I built a few years ago. So I had some of those left over and threw them on there, and they worked out pretty well. Made a pretty cool pattern here with the stripes. It gave it a little bit, without that it just didn't really have anything that was like really popping, but those decals I think really helped to kind of make something really pop there. It gives it a nice accent there on the mobile suit. Also did do a little bit of light weathering. It's mostly just some chipping just with the sponge and some enamel paint, and that was pretty much it. Oh, I did do some filtering on there as well, so there's that going on all like the exterior armor of the mobile suit, and I guess the other parts there as well. And then just a bunch of detail painting and everything. With it being an SD kit, the part separation on this kit is pretty good, but there were still a lot of little details to paint in. I probably could have, depending on how detailed you want to get or how color separated you want certain parts to be, you could have gone in and painted this certain parts in even more color separation, but I did it to the degree that I wanted to, and I think it came out pretty cool. Yeah, and then the base was just really simple, just a piece of plot plate, just scribed some lines in that, added a couple little parts, threw on some decals and some kind of wash on that, and that's pretty much it. So pretty simple. I'm really happy with how this came out. I really like the color there on the Nightingale, and just the Nightingale kit in general is a kit I could definitely see myself painting again. It's really nice that you have such a really huge mobile suit that you're basically, the other option is like almost a $100 kit, and it's really gigantic and honestly doesn't really do as much. This one can actually do a lot more posing. Now I have it just standing there, but as you saw, if you've seen my review of the kit way back when it was in its original red color, it can actually do a lot more cool posing. And so if you wanted a very affordable kit of the Nightingale that can actually do a lot of posing and doesn't take up a whole shelf space for that, then I think this is a really good option for you. But I won't recap the whole review of that kit. Feel free to go back and watch that if you haven't, but it's a really cool kit, and yeah, I could definitely see myself getting another one of them in the future. Highly recommend you guys check it out if you're a fan of the design. That is pretty much it for this build, guys. Let me know if you have any other further questions or comments about it. As always, I'm open to any critique or anything you guys might want to add, some things you think that you like or that you might have done differently. I'm always open to that, so feel free to leave your comments down below. Thank you so much for that. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.